Gary, congratulations on the win. How are you feeling about that tonight?
I think I'll probably say relieved a little bit because I feel, in the last sort of 4 games we've been really competitive, and I know every manager will say it, but we feel that we should have more points on the board, and you feel like those are opportunities missed. But yeah, look, one of relief. It's if I'm honest, it's not really how I want us to play and win games of football in terms of maybe an attacking sense. Because I don't feel it's necessarily reflective of the ability within the group and what we want to do, and not really necessarily reflective of ourselves, but from an attacking sense. But from a defensive point of view, I think that reflects us really well. I thought we were outstanding today. I know I said I wasn't critical, but I said after the Western game that I felt probably we're a group that aren't necessarily built for second ball games that are dictated to on second balls, and we're having to change the way we play. It's not an excuse, but there is a reason. As you can see, the pitch isn't conducive to play in a certain way that we want to do. So yeah, look, we've recruited not necessarily over the summer, over the last few years to play a certain style, and it's not an out strength of the group, but we showed today we were fantastic, and I think we've actually been fantastic all 5 games really. Just the big moments in games that just haven't fell our way, and today they have, and like I said, I thought we deserved that. There was reward for what we did today, and also look, it's nice to get that 3 points for certainly the home fans and the group today, so that they know what we've been doing is the right way.
Yeah, let's talk about the goal. Thunderous long-range free kick from Jake Evans. Was he always on free kick duty?
No, I think he bestowed it on himself, so we'll
he'll be fined.
Yeah, we'll allow him that. Thunderous is generous, I think. But again, look, conditions-wise, one, you have to hit the target. Like I said, it bounces horribly in front of the keeper, and he struggles. So look, all we can ask is they hit the target, and then hits the back of the net. So for us, like I said, from them, it didn't necessarily change the game, but it did mean that, like I said, we were able. They were. Not necessarily had to come out even further. They obviously were, but as I said, look, the pitch probably affected how both teams played today. So to get ourselves in front, we knew it would probably be a tight game, a messy game, which it was, and we thought that 1 goal might be enough. So yeah, look, it opened the whole game up for us.
You talked about sort of building this squad over the last few weeks, months, last couple of years to play in a certain way. Let's not forget, I think I'm right in saying that half of your starting 11 last season were playing at least 1, if not 2 levels below where they were today, effectively. So that's a good sign, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, look, we've always said if we can keep groups together, we'd look at those with not necessarily value or asset value, but those were certainly with a ceiling to improve. We have to do that a little bit, and we think that we don't always get it right, but we've got a pretty good eye, we think. And we'll always give players opportunity, certainly opportunity here, and like I said, yeah, look, as you said, those that we've gone and recruited, we feel can make the step up. They have made the step up, or certainly have shown that they're more than competitive at the level. So yeah, look, we're really pleased. I know we're talking about today, but on Saturday, Henry Sadie was excellent at Chelmsford, really good on a nice pitch. So it was nice to see a different side of battling qualities from him today. But Olaf's been excellent for us. He's played today. He's been injured, not injured. Sorry, he was sick in the week. Similar, with 𝗍cie, and I'll forget a couple as well. But yeah, look, we're really pleased with what we've got so far. We're not getting carried away with 1 win, but again, look, looking at what we've done so far, we're pleased with, and we think we've done the absolute best with what we could and what was available, and we're pleased.
Will King back on the bench this afternoon. What about other players possibly being back? Did I see 𝗍cie Carroll in his training kit before the kickoff?
Yeah, so 𝗍cie has been back. He's been back for a while now. I think he'll be back involved with training next week. He's worked hard to get back to where he was. If we're going to talk about injuries, I know you asked about Will, but I want probably just to say first and foremost, our wishes, the club's wishes, goes out to Harrison, who got some really bad news from his scan result last week. Obviously, he's done his ACL, so he came in to help us out for a month. He was fantastic at Ebbsfleet. He was really good at Western the other night, and we're gutted for him. Gutted, like I say, because we hoped that he would come in and like I say, we get him back to where he wanted to be. So we wish him well with everything. I know he was here today as well. So yeah, look, he's a really good lad with a bright future. But yeah, look, we're gutted for him. Will's been a big miss. Will King's been a really big miss. Like I say, he's a lad who can look after the football. He's really good, but we've probably not been able to use his versatility like we would have been able to or would have liked. Freddie's a long way off. He had an operation in the week. They had to do a bit more than we'd hoped. So initially I think Freddie had hoped he was going to be 6 to 8 weeks. It looks like it's going to be a lot longer. So that's a shame. And we're nursing everybody else back as quickly as we can. And Georgia's got her hands full with a lot of people, but like I said, she's working through them as quickly and as efficiently as she can.
What about Harry Parsons at the moment?
So Harry's another one. We're just trying to get some clarity with Harry. Had a scan in the week. We got the results back from that. First news was that it wasn't great, and we were told it was going to be really, really long. However, we've sort of had a second opinion as such. We don't think it's going to be as bad, so we're maybe 6 to 8 weeks for Harry to be able to start getting back at it. But yeah, look, probably not further from our thoughts in terms of him being involved soon. Again, another one that started the season fantastically well on that first game of the season, so we're going to have to do without for a longer period. So, and I could probably go on with a couple of others as well. So, that being said, like you said, it's not an excuse. We'll never make excuses, but there are reasons. We probably have 5 or 6 lads that we'd like to pick from that aren't available. So that's tough. But those that are there, able to pull the shirt on, have like I say, showed as the badge says, a lot of pride and passion today.
Well done Hornchurch at the weekend away. I know you've got to reflect on this one first, but they've not lost yet this season. Top of the table, for what it's worth after 5 fixtures. Would that surprise a few people maybe? Hornchurch starting so well compared to those other sort of big hitters and big squads and clubs in the league?
No, not us at all. I thought they were fantastic towards the tail end of last year. We weren't great on the day, but I think they're a side that are really geared up. I'm going to probably not, this isn't a disrespectful way, that there's some sides in this league that have got big budgets that play a certain way, which is easy on the eye and nice, but they're a team that I think have got a really, really good group of players who have got a non-league edge, so they're probably really well equipped to get out of the league, if I'm honest. I know they've got a plan in place where they've backed the manager and he's been able to do that in terms of recruitment, but obviously him as well, so they haven't surprised us at all. We'll have to be better than we were today. In terms of our defending, like I said, they've got size and physicality all over. We've dealt with that today in the main, but they have that all over. So yeah, look, not a surprise for us. We'll need to be better, like I said, than we were today, or certainly as good as.
Cheers, Gary. Thank you.